GSports. Again, my man GSports is going to be arriving a little late today. He's going to be stopping on by the store also to get into a lot of these segments going on in NBA basketball. And plus, we need to talk to him, too, because he did a lot of, Olympic basketball with John Calipari to kind of give us a people insight of what's going on.
With that man-child that's playing point guard for him next year. Oh, my God.
Good Lord. Oh, yeah. It's real. Well, listen, we got another banged out show for you guys. Listen, we got a lot of NBA talk. As people know, CP3, we're doing a lot of talk about that tonight. Melo, some of the rumors that's going on with him, between the Cavs and Houston. Got some little NFL talk for you guys later on, talking little Saints, talking top 10. Countdown, top 100. The top 10 has now been announced, so we do a little talk about that first. But listen, before we start this show off, we always give a big shout out and salute to our armed forces, our Army, our Navy, our Marines, our Air Force, Coast Guard. We also give a local shout out to Fire Department, Police Department,
First responders.
Thank you for a lot of time for the things that y'all do for our community, for our nation. We deeply, deeply, deeply appreciate, what you guys have done in protecting us as citizens of the United States of America. Now, on to sports. On to sports, baby. I already know what time of day it is. But listen, before we get this show started, I want to give a big shout out to LSU baseball. Yes, LSU baseball. Paul Maneri did an excellent job. I'll be honest with everybody. People who work with me could attest to it. I thought they were done after they played Oregon when they went down 13-1.
Man.
They bounced back. They beat Florida State. They bounced back and beat Oregon twice to make it to Omaha. Regardless of them losing to Florida twice, but you got to give credit where credit's due to come out of LSU baseball. Paul Maneri is probably one of the best coaches in college baseball, and you got to give the shots out to him. Yeah, you just got to give credit where credit is due.
I just wish we would have got to see Lang pitch for the College World Series.
Right.
But the way that format is set up, I just wish we would have got to see Lang.
Got to see him play
one more time before heading to the pros.
Right. But again, shouts out to LSU baseball, man. Since we live in down here in Louisiana, listen, big shout out to them. We're gonna do a little recap right quick. We're gonna recap a little bit about the NBA draft. We was on the show last week with the NBA draft. A lot of guys got picked, a lot of stars got picked. But what are some of the guys who think that kind of just fell when we ended the show? What are some of the guys that you thought that actually failed in this NBA draft? Like, who are you thinking, like, you know what? We thought that guy was going to get picked a little earlier.
Well, I wouldn't go on to the see who didn't get picked right off the bat. A surprising pick was still to this day, and it's a week after the draft, I'm surprised that the New York Knicks passed up Malik Monk when they had the chance. They got the athletic point guard out of France,
right?
But still,
I'm surprised they passed on Dennis Smith Jr.
But my thing was you had Malik Monk right there,
right down the clock.
And you
passed.
And I was deeply shocked. Shout out to GSports.
GSports.
Just told y'all traffic was bad out there, baby.
Where you at, baby?
But
I'm in there.
But that is that's the head scratcher. I think that all goes into like the Phil Jackson firing and all that stuff. But that Malik Monk, when I'm sitting there, I'm looking at a team that you got a Carmelo, that you got Porzingis, you got I can't pronounce the kid last name. He started with H. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The Arizona, whatever, however you pronounce it.
Arizona?
Yeah, Henry Gomez. That's his name, last name. But I was shocked because that New York, especially like the history, New York Knicks has always had a staple at that two position. Whether it was Starks, whether it was Houston, even in the JR,
at some point in time,
you always had a staple at that two, and to get back there, you had them right there. You probably had the best two guard in the draft right there. Then you go for the point guard from France. That was to me the most shocking in that first round, because outside of that, everything went like according to plan. As far as the draft, it was like no shakeups, nothing like that. But I was truly shocked that Malik Monk fell right there to you. It was like to me, it was a no-brainer to get the kid out of France. He's a decent player, but like I said last year on the show, one of the biggest knocks that we have on the international players, we don't see them with our eyes. So
Right.
you don't know what your
really don't
first
know.
time seeing them is probably summer league if they can come over in summer league at the time. So
Right.
we seen what Malik Monk could do, and New York, that's what you needed, and we passed up on.
You passed on it. I think for me, I think he probably could have been picked a little higher. But I wouldn't call it a surprise. I was kind of surprised that T.J. Leaf went to Indiana a little bit.
I think that's a good fit.
But if I say, I think it's a good fit for where he went. I thought he was gonna probably get selected maybe a couple of spots earlier.
He went 11.
No, he went like 20th.
Yeah, he went 20.
20s.
Because
went 20s.
Indiana, I think Indiana traded back or something.
He got picked in the 20s, and I was like, an athletic kid out of USLA, he can, kind of like, play on the ball. He could play around the rim. He could spread the floor out a little bit. I thought he would. When I see guys like Miles Leonard get picked high in the NBA draft, I'm saying to myself, a guy like T.J. Leaf could have been a top.
Miles Leonard was 7'1" though.
Yeah, but Miles Leonard
can
can't
shoot.
never be 7'1".
But he can shoot.
Yeah,
Miles Leonard's biggest problem is every time he get going, he get hurt.
Right. I just looked at him as T.J. Leaf is saying to myself, he could have been selected high, but I think it is a good fit that he went to Indiana. I think he can actually develop, now that they're going to be going through some change, no more Larry Bird, obviously they got to figure out what they're going to do with Paul George, but it's a situation where he can actually thrive and prosper.
Right.
It's not a bad situation. What's going on with you, man?
I mean, the as far as me in the draft, I thought the Knicks messed up by passing on Dennis Smith, the point guard out of NC State. I think he went to the Mavericks. So
they went like a pick after.
matter of fact, he went 11.
He went 11.
And I think the Knicks picked the guy from France at
Yeah,
what,
the
8 or something, 8 or 9,
Eight.
something like that. And like Big Hen said, man, we don't get to see those guys play like Fran Fraschilla, who is big with the overseas kids and knowing about what they could do, what they can't do, and stuff like that. And I even asked him out there in Colorado, I was like, man, why you think they passed on Dennis Smith to get this guy from France? And he was raving about him, saying, he gonna be big time, and he thinks that he can be one of the better point guards in the league. So, and Fran Fraschilla usually be on top of his evaluations of a lot of players. But for me, Dennis Smith, I mean, he went to a bad school, NC State.
Right.
So people didn't really get to see what he really could do. But
He didn't recognize him.
he played in the ACC. And I got to see him play a lot, because I watch a lot of ACC with Louisville and stuff like that. But the guy just played out of his mind. He just was on a bad team.
Right.
So, and to be honest with you, I think he is just as good as De'Aaron Fox and Markelle Fultz. I'm not saying he's better than them, but I think he's on that same level and that same tier as them.
I think he's better than Fox because he can shoot. Mm-hmm. But they always, like they say, NBA wise, they always say you could get a shot.
Develop it.
But you talking about like as of right now. Maybe Fox is a better two-way player, But
I think he actually went to a good situation though. I think he went to a situation where he can play immediately, he can start there. They building something in Dallas. You got Harrison Barnes over there.
Saying his name.
He's listen, man. You can say what you want.
You better not say star. Pat not say star.
He could be a star. What do you have, like 17 last year?
Yeah,
20. He had 19.7 points.
He could be.
His first year being somewhat
right.
Getting shot attempts besides being in Golden State.
Harrison Barnes, one of them players, like he got all the tools. But he got the size. It's just
who he remind me of. I don't wish nothing bad on anybody. He reminds me of when Jeff Green had it going for Oklahoma City. Could shoot, athletic, and then. You he about to take off, and just like right when everybody in the world think he about to take off, like what happened?
He became like a situational role. Like
you kind of forget that he in the league.
I think Harrison Barnes' biggest problem is it seemed like he just not a killer, and it just seemed like he kind of lacked confidence in himself. I don't know if it was because when he was in Golden State, with Curry and Clay and Draymond, and they're more alpha males, and he seemed like he's more of a stay in the back and chill and
relax.
laid back passive role. So I mean, and when you're in the league, man, I tell people, bro, if you want to be one of the bona fide superstars in this league, you got to have a killer instinct. You got to have a killer instinct, and I think that's one of the things that Harrison Barnes doesn't have, and why he can't get into that star role, you know, for the Mavericks or for when he was with the Warriors.
Arthur Taylor says Barnes doesn't have the heart. Well, I think that's true.
Basically.
And the reason, if I'm Harrison Barnes, you got if the time is now.
Right.
The time is now because Dirk's not going to be that much longer. Like, this might be Dirk's last year.
Dirk is still going to always be the heart and soul.
I would not
somebody needs to be the franchise guy.
I would not be surprised if Dirk said, you know, right before training camp, you know what, I'm done. He done all he can for this franchise.
I think he gonna go out one more year.
Yeah, I do too. But it wouldn't surprise.
Especially if. Depending on what kind of moves they making in his, I mean, like,
yeah,
you know, I heard Mark Cuban he going after Blake Griffin,
yeah,
and then, you know, so
right.
But you know, but the thing about Dallas is every year they come out saying they going after this person, and they go after this person, and they never get up that person.
Like with DeAndre Jordan last year,
you know,
when they locked him in the house,
right,
and stuff like that. So
you know, they.
PJ Brown said Harrison Barnes has superstar ability, but a role player mindset.
Who that might?
Hey, you know what?
Hey,
you know what?
Nail on the head.
Nail on the head. Nail on the head.
I'm surprised BJ was capable of making a comment like that. I see you, BJ.
Hey, that's my homeboy now, man.
Hey, I gotta give him with that one. He has superstar ability with a role player mindset. I gotta give him that one, bro.
Nah,
but another team, Pelicans. What we think about? You draft Frank Jackson the third. You know, solid in the point guard. Don't know if you're gonna sign Drew. There's reports about they're gonna talk to Drew.
It's supposed to meet with him Saturday.
But free agency starts Saturday. So somebody,
midnight.
Yeah, so somebody hit him at 12-on-1.
They say he leaning toward the Mavs. Right, like as of right now, depending on how that meeting go, Mavs is like his top priority where he probably gonna go. And Mark Cuban, man, you know he could sell water to a well.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's gonna have to make sense when he sit down with Dale Demps. And they're gonna have to come with a nice plan to what they think they could make this team look like for this year and the upcoming years. Do they think they can sign Boogie? Who else they going out there in free agents? I mean, the Pelicans, they gotta do something, bro. If they lose Drew, we probably looking at that we probably gonna be arguably the worst team in the NBA next year. I mean, that's just what it is because
you can't surpass Brooklyn. Brooklyn bad.
Listen, bro.
Brooklyn bad.
You gotta think about it. After Anthony Davis and Boogie, what else do the Pelicans have?
Well, they made the mistake in Solomon Hill, so they gotta live with some of this.
Solomon Hill, Etuan Moore.
They made some mistakes.
You know, your next back option is Tariq.
No, Tariq second. He's second man.
That's true.
Tariq gone. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna end up happening. If they can't sign Drew, because I don't see Kyle Lowry. If we can't get Drew, Kyle Lowry is the next point guard out there for you to go after. If they don't get Kyle Lowry, I think Kyle Lowry either is a chance he go to Minnesota or the Spurs. I don't see him coming to the Pelicans. So if you don't get a point guard in a mix, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. They're gonna overpay for a point guard, somebody that ain't that good, just like he did for Solomon Hill. But they talking about Jeff Teague might be going to the Knicks.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
right.
Yeah, they said. I think the reports that I read yesterday said that, like, once Phil was fired, Jeff Teague instantly became interested for the Knicks.
And that's a lot of things will be interesting with the Knicks because at the end of the day, you know, we asking ourselves the question: is Phil Jackson to blame what happened in New York? You know,
he sabotaged that organization. He bad. I don't know if I don't know if he did. Like, I kind of feel like he did that on purpose. Like he had something against somebody, against Dolan or something. I mean, the stuff that he was trying to do, bro. It just don't make no sense.
I think Phil's a great basketball mind from a coach standpoint, but I think when he comes down to organization, that's not what his strength was. And I think that he doesn't. When you now look at GMs, I think you have to be great as far as scouting teams, scouting players, like Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge is good at scouting players, scouting talent, and getting picks and acquiring assets.
Right.
Phil was still trying to believe that hiring coaches that want to run a triangle. You got to get out of that element of the basketball. And I don't think he did a bad job as far as building a relationship with players, but I think he did a bad job as far as trying to also coach the team on what style of offense you want to play, what y'all want to do. But when you bring in Kurt Rambis at some point in time with the head coach of the team, there's an issue here.
Right.
And that's just, you're trying to run a triangle. You hire Jeff Hornacek. You went through 3 head coaches during this whole tenure. You went from Derek Fisher, Kurt Rambis, now Jeff Hornacek.
Right.
It was a bad situation. I think he's a great basketball mind. You know, I think it's a lot of good things that Phil Jackson does for the game of basketball. But from an organization, I don't think he's good at acquiring picks. I don't think the best thing he did was draft Porzingis. That was the best thing he did.
But that wasn't even his call though. That's what a lot of people don't know.
Then he did nothing.
He had
He did nothing.
But this look, I say it's 50-50.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna start with the most recent one because of course it's Phil. Yeah, look, Phil, you're horrible. You're horrible. You're not taking your job serious. You go out there and first of all, if you're trying to build a trade market, if you're trying to get a trade, you don't go out there and belittle the person you're trying to trade.
Right.
That's just
publicly.
That's just like saying, "Hey, G, I got this car. Look, it don't start all the time. The window don't go down, but look, buy it, baby. Buy it, baby.
$5,000, baby. We can roll.
You can't do that.
Insane.
You can't. You trying to. One of your jobs is to acquire, to assess, to observe, and nurture talent, and you can't take that serious. You falling asleep when these people working out for you.
That was when I heard
that's like the ultimate slap in the face.
What? When I heard that, they didn't come out and say they were what player it was. I was appalled. I said, man, this dude fell asleep during the work. He was in and out.
In and out.
Like just
I
mean, what you doing?
You can't,
You know how embarrassing it is for the organization, for the team president to be in and out while this guy is working out.
That's crazy.
And then you got Keith Lockett, my cousin, said that he should have stayed in his lane. PJ says Phil Jackson as a GM is trash, and honestly, I can't disagree with y'all.
So his lane is coaching. That's what we identify.
To me,
that's one of the best coaches that coach basketball.
To me, Phil has that old man mentality, like if we sit here right now, like, man, y'all see, man, Steph Curry killing right now. Probably the best point guard in the league. Phil Jackson, that person, like, y'all want to know who's a good point guard? World Be Free. Man, World Be Free was shooting that like that. But, he's that person. You saw him something that's good right now. He got to bring you back to his days to where he can relate. And I think, like all great coaches, once the game passes them and that system or what made them great is not good no more, it's over and done, and it's past them. The time where you could go out to the media and say, "Look, my guy's playing horrible. He needs to step up. He needs to step up," and people respond back to him. Look, social media out now. These people coming after you right back on it. But then on the flip side of it, James Dolan is a lot to blame for this too. First of all, why would you let somebody run your organization into the trash like this? You seen what he was capable of the first. I can say, all right, the first year.
But his organization, that's
why
his organization was already bad prior to hiring Phil.
That's why I'm
it's
going.
a bad situation.
That's why I'm going with it. You know what I'm saying? But you brought in him. I understand big name high. Get the fans back inside it.
Correct.
Once you see when he was going the first year, like, all right, filling out. After that, when he botched that second year. Your biggest trade was sending J.R. Smith and Shumpert to Cleveland for Lou Osman. You serious?
but I'm gonna tell you though, Phil, I ain't gonna say he just did a all around bad job. The trade when he got Derrick Rose, Joakim Noah.
That Joakim Noah deal was horrible.
But what I'm saying is,
he didn't trade for Noah though.
What I'm saying, he signed Noah. He signed Noah. What I'm saying is, he got these guys in there, and when he made that trade, I wasn't like, oh, that's bad. Or when he signed Noah, I was like, oh, that's bad. I felt like I say, man, if Noah had he wasn't healthy the year before.
Yeah.
I say, so if Noah they expected Noah to come back. Well, I thought it was somewhere with his toe or something.
No, knee.
It was his knee?
Yeah.
All right, if something was wrong with his knee, whatever it was, then Derrick Rose coming out the torn meniscus.
Right.
And stuff like that. So I thought that it could work. Right. And I thought they could be a competitive team. Then I think they could have a shot to take down Cleveland. Hell no. But I thought, I was like, shit.
They can start winning.
Yeah, I was like they could be in the mix for a 7-6 seed and be competitive in the playoffs. But Noah stayed hurt.
Right.
Derrick Rose a shell of himself. He got hurt again.
Right.
And, Jeff Hornacek, let's face it, he really didn't have nothing else to work with after Noah, Derrick Rose. I mean, who else they had? I mean, I can't even name them.
They went back and got Ray Felton or something.
Yeah, Ray Felton. I mean, Porzingis, he was really the only highlight of the team.
Him and Herman Gomez. But this is the thing. We should have never got to Derek Fisher. We should have never got to Rambis or Hornacek because Mike Woodson did a hell of a job with a worse roster
Sure did.
than any one of these coaches had, and he had them.
Mike Woodson's a great defensive coach.
He had them knocking on the door for a playoff seat when Melo was hurt. When your whole offense is hurt, and you had them knocking on the door of playoff seat, and then you bring in this guy, you already start making moves like, all right, let that coach try. Give him something. Everywhere Mike Woodson win, he's been a winner. He's turned the team around. He showed you that because the year before the Knicks was a laughingstock, and then he had them on the cusp of getting the 8th seed. Which is not hard to do in the East, but from where they was and where he got them in that short span of time, and people forget that he wasn't the full coach that whole year. He got the coach that they had.
D'Antoni.
He got fired, and then he took over and he had them close to making it.
I think what ended Phil Jackson's time. I think we all saw the writing on the wall when Melo was the free agent. And when Melo re-signed, which we all say was business reasons. But when you put a no-trade clause and you sign a player of that caliber to a no-trade clause, you handicap your franchise, especially if you don't make the playoffs.
Right.
You done. Because you cannot move this asset. Because he has an option. He is in the driver's seat on what team he's going to play for. If you don't like the deal, don't matter.
Yeah,
I'm stuck here. I'm going to play here. I want to be here. My business is here. Everything I got going on in life is going to stay in New York and how I want to see fit. And the situation you ran across is this team is no longer – when you sign a guy like that, when the contract Melo got, he had to be your focal point. You had to build everything around him, which means you need to bring coaches in that's going to bring the best talent in his abilities. You have to do all these things. Phil Jackson didn't want to do that. Phil Jackson wanted to run a triangle. And you can't do all that and sign Melo to a no-trade clause.
You want to know why he said he didn't draft Malik Monk? Because the kid couldn't run a triangle. That was the exact words. They asked him about it.
You ain't last another week.
You asked him about it and you say he can't run. These kids don't know what the triangle
and
is.
Malik Monk wanted to go to New York. He came out and said he wanted to play in New York City.
That's
Now Jason says that Phil made Kobe and MJ.
His system.
Kobe? No. MJ? Hell no. You forgot MJ was averaging 36 before Phil became the coach.
They won a title underneath him. They won a title underneath him.
They won a title because of his system. Yes. I said that before. Has made them as a player? No.
They won championships under his style of play.
And it is true that Jordan never won a ring without. But people quick to say like Phil made Kobe and MJ, but people like one fact always drawn around that look they never won a ring without him. But on the flip side, as many years as Phil Jackson coach, he never won a ring without Kobe or Michael. So you got if you're gonna call it that way, you gotta call it the other way.
It's like saying Greg Popovich made Tim Duncan, man. It's kind of like at some point in time, these guys was a great guy. He was gonna be a great player, regardless of who the coach of they're a pair. They go together, and that's just kind of how with Phil Jackson and Jordan and Phil Jackson and Kobe, they're a pair. You're gonna represent their careers together.
Now I want to ask this question to the panel because Jason Terry also made up a point. What? Because he said Antonio Blakely should have stayed because he hasn't been even picked up yet. So what player out there that came out in the draft that didn't get drafted, we thought should have just or got drafted but got drafted like later on that should have stayed?
Harry Giles.
Who?
Harry Giles of the Duke.
He got drafted.
I know. I thought he should have stayed.
I'm saying like
even
if they got drafted, saying who we thought like made the move too fast should have stayed. First person that comes to mind, the kid from the center from North Carolina,
Kennedy Meeks.
No, he was a senior, so he couldn't come back.
Who you talking about?
You talking about?
Bradley?
Yeah.
But Bradley came off the bench, though. I thought he should have stayed. I don't know what the hell he was thinking about. I need to find out who advising some of these kids because I just don't understand what the hell he was thinking about. You could have came back next year and probably been a lottery pick, son.
Exactly. Frank Jackson III.
Frank Jackson the
Nah, but
third.
you know why he got up out of there.
Frank Jackson the third. I thought he should have stayed too.
Yeah.
I thought he should have stayed too. I ain't gonna lie.
Should have stayed.
The guy that I thought should have got drafted, and I was asking all these. I asked Sam Preston, the GM for the Thunder. He was out there at the USA training camp in Colorado. I said, why in the hell did PJ Dozier not get picked up? The guy from South Carolina.
Yeah, I was about
6'6" shooting guard, small forward.
Right.
Come to find out, he tells me PJ Dozier ain't got no ACL in his knees.
No.
I didn't know that. I didn't
Wow.
know that. Yeah, and he said he really can't shoot. He said he said the teams ain't really want to take a chance on him. So that's why, he didn't get drafted. But I'm sure he gonna get a shot. But
Right.
that was mind-boggling to me that PJ Dozier didn't get picked. Kobe Simmons,
Yeah, no,
the kid out of Arizona.
that was the biggest. First of all,
That's the big one.
When
He should have stayed, but I still thought he was gonna get drafted.
When he declared, I was like, why? And then when that final deadline come out, I said he gonna jump back, especially when he see, because by that time Sharif and Bo had committed to Arizona, so I'm like, all right, he see the squad that's coming there, he gonna go back, and then you got Tatum who transferred in there, but he won't be able to play. So I'm like, he going back, and then he stayed in there, but how young he is and potential wise, I thought, well, I guess I must have evaluated his potential ceiling, because like off potential alone they gonna take him. And like the first round went, I said, all right, boom, this Kobe Sissons time. Somebody in that's a playoff team that has a second round pick that's not trading, go pick this kid up and let him nurse him for a little while. Then it's gonna be his time to go. Did the draft went and he didn't get picked. I was like, ugh. And then so now it's overseas a D League for you, because if they ain't gonna take a chance on you now,
Or Summer League.
it's tough to tough to grow up in the D League.
And then come to find out, I said, well, why? Because I'm asking questions. I'm asking scouts. I'm asking the GM. I said, man, why did Kobe Simmons even come out? He had to know that it was either late second round to undrafted, and come to find out, they say he couldn't even go back to school.
So
he had stopped going to class.
So he was
He's
full
already committed
fledged.
himself to full-fledged,
He was
already
full
gone.
fledged. So no matter what, he was going to be ineligible into the second half of next year.
Exactly. And I'm gonna tell you what happened to him. What really messed him over. Not Rawley Hawkins. Who's the other guard that was hurt for Arizona? Got his name.
I know you talk.
He was killing in the tournament.
I got his face. Because
He ended the draft. He took his name out, but forgot his name. But anyway, he was hurt in the middle of the season, and Kobe Simmons was getting all that burn. And then when he came back off injury, Sean Miller threw Kobe Simmons to the side. And I guess Kobe Simmons felt played about that. So it's not in a situation. It's like, damn, I ain't going to class.
Now I ain't getting no minutes.
I ain't getting no minutes. Man, I'm in a bad situation. Jalen Johnson, the power forward from Louisville. I read some stuff that Rick Pitino said. Rick Pitino was like, you could tell it was one of the situations when they asked him in a press conference. They was like, so what do you think about Jalen Johnson leaving to go to the draft? And I'm paraphrasing when I say this. He said something like, I love Jalen as a person. I think he's a great kid. We wish him all the best. That's clearly saying, look, you're trash, you're bad. I don't know what you think about. You might get overseas. You ain't got a shot in the hell at the NBA. That's really what Rick Pitino. That's what I know this guy. I know how to read between the lines with him.
We got some comments here. We got Wise Thomas said the Pelicans should have got Dozier. Phil Jackson won't be shit without Tex Winner, who invented the triangle.
was it true?
Which is true. That's has been happening for a long time. Those kids here, their top picks every year and don't get drafted.
But this thing, the way it's set up now, you could go to the combine. You could go to the combine.
You get a grade.
You go to the combine with all the NBA execs there, and you can actually talk to them and get a feel for them. And Kobe Simmons knew that he wasn't gonna get drafted, point blank period. But he also knew that I can't go back.
Right.
So I'm like you said, I'm stuck.
But a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people just think they just going. But it's like if you stop going to class, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Once you mess up, that a lot of people forget too. once you become on academic probation, if you're on the full scholarship, you have to sit out until you're academically compliant, and that's the rule. So if this is how you get drafted by showing that you can play, and if you can't play, you can't get no time. So you become a regular student that just go into the games, and and some people can't deal with it.
Well, again, he decided to become a pro basketball player, and now he got to work. He got to put work in, just like other guys who are not picked. Come out their freshman year. He got to put work in. It is what it is.
I'm gonna tell you somebody who made a great decision to come back. And even if he would have left, I think he probably would have got picked late first round. But he made an excellent decision to come back to school. And I guarantee you, barring he doesn't have no major injury next year, I promise you this guy will be a top 10 pick. Miles Bridges out of Michigan State.
Yeah, smart.
Made an excellent decision. Because after that 14 pick, I think he's not guaranteed.
Not guaranteed.
So come back. Michigan State gonna have a pretty good team. Make a run. Improve your draft stock, and I promise you that kid gonna be a top 10 pick next year.
Yeah,
he might come in the top 5. Never know.
Depending on who makes it up there,
right? Because he got great size. He about like 6'7", 6'8". He can put the ball on the floor. He can shoot it pretty good for his size. You know what I'm saying? He plays defense. He athletic. I like the kid. Like I think that was one of the decisions where he came back and he know that he could probably be a top 5, top 10 pick next year. And so I think that was probably one of the best decisions out of all the kids that came back, or kids that decided to come out of this class.
Now, I would say this: the best fit award goes to, and I'm not just saying it because he went to my favorite college, but Jason Tatum going to the Celtics. To me,
even though I don't think he's gonna be there long.
To me, the barn would have, like if it stay put. Because the Celtics' problem, there was a good defense coach team. You got this probably the second best coach in basketball on the sideline. Their problem was when Isaiah Thomas went away, who you get points from. You can't count on Marcus Smart to go haywire like he did that one game. Because comeback game 5, he was
can you depend on
nothing.
Bradley because that's a health issue.
Yeah, because now you get. And we was talking about this on the show last week because you was like they should get Josh Jackson. Like defense is not their problem. They need somebody that can score.
Right.
And you got somebody who's 6'8", can handle the ball.
Long.
It's a mid-range assassin. He was a decent 3-point shooter. He probably can, with some work he probably can be a real good 3-point shooter in the league. So to me that was like barring everything stays the same, that was a good fit, and I think TJ Lee gets the second award because if Paul stays in.
Him and Miles Turner can.
Miles Turner, two both big, tall, athletic guys that can shoot for their size, and then especially when you got somebody like Lance Stevenson, who doesn't look to score no more. He's a
facilitator.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying,
playmaker.
Yeah, kind of like what Tyreek Evans was when he was first in Sacramento. Something like that. Can get to the lane at will, but not looking to score, looking to get everybody else going. So that's.
I would say this though, and then we gotta get ready to take our first break. I think De'Aaron Fox is gonna be a stud. I think that the way he plays the game, no one's really been in Sacramento. He could go there and kind of let his game just play. The way he want to attack the floor, the way he can spread the floor. He's not a great shooter, but you can learn.
But he can shoot that mid range.
He made a jumper.
It's respectable.
Yeah.
But his athleticism, his
speed,
the way he can get to the basket, the way he can do a lot of things. I'm not calling him Westbrook or John Wall for that matter.
Right.
But what I am saying is that we haven't seen this type of playmaker since like a Wall or previous like a Westbrook from the speed standpoint. And going to Sacramento, he'll be able to allow his talent really show because there's no more Booby Cousins. Yeah. Sacramento has to build that around somebody. De'Aaron Fox is
him and Buddy Hill, and like that's like
they gotta figure it out.
You got a driver and a shooter, so that might be, and you got an athletic Willie Cauley-Stein, so it could be a match made in heaven.
I personally, like I said, and this might sound cliche what I'm about to say, but Lonzo Ball, the situation, I think he is going into the perfect situation out of all the lottery picks in my mind. Just for the simple fact, you got Brook Lopez there, who is probably a top 5 center in the league when healthy. You got Julius Randle, who is emerging as a power forward in this league that
Stretch four.
you know what I'm saying, is athletic. He can run the flow. He play defense.
Right.
And he's young. And then you got a Brandon Ingram, a guy that has the potential to be a star in this league, but that the jury's still out on that. And if they get Paul George in the mix, that you can move Paul George to the 2, Brandon Ingram at the 3. Now you got Lonzo Ball at the 1. And now you got a team that probably could compete for a 6, maybe a 5th seed in the West, in my opinion. Because you got to think, the Blazers, they're gonna be better than the Blazers.
The Blazers
are officially out of the playoffs.
If the Lakers get Paul George in a trade some kind of way, which if I'm the Lakers, I would wait because he's coming anyway. So why give up all these assets to get him?
But now you know with everybody else jumping in there saying that they want him,
right?
They might do it.
You know what? I'm gonna mention something about that after the break,
right?
Or why they should probably if they can pull a trigger. But go ahead.
Right, but can you imagine how Ball gonna be able to run that show with Brook Lopez, Julius Randle, Brandon Ingram, and Paul George?
And you still got Clarkson coming off the bench. I don't know why. I like
Clarkson too. I like Clarkson too. I like Larry Nance.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
And then Ingram, he got better once the year going. Like once he figured out the NBA, he know what he's gonna need. He just got to hit the weight room. He was just too light for his position.
And then that Laker team is young. Yeah. That's a young Laker team. Brook Lopez is the only one that's probably over the age of 30. So Lonzo Ball, I think he's in a perfect situation. De'Aaron Fox, even though I think he is probably overall in the grand scheme of things probably better than Lonzo Ball, I think he is in a tough situation. He going to an organization that's not used to winning. They don't have any veterans on that team that knows how to win. The ownership is a joke to me. The coach is a joke to me. So I just think
GM may be a joke.
Yeah, he's going to be.
He is a joke.
and when you asking a 19-year-old kid to come into this and give him the keys to the Cadillac and run this show, it's gonna be tough. So it's gonna be interesting to see. But like I said, I think Lonzo Ball is him and Tatum. But if I had to pick, Lonzo Ball has the best situation out of everybody.
Well, listen, coming back off the break, we talking Chris Paul. Houston, baby, we got Houston on the clock.
Rockets twerk.
We talking.
Turn down for what? Turn down for what?
Hey, what's up, readers and shakers? It's time for a new horizon in literary talk. Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions is a literary lounge for readers who want to make informed decisions on how they spend their reading dollars. Each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, authors will join us in the lounge for real talk with real readers. Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. This is the place to be for the best in literary conversation. See you there.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on the Gulf Coast that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
Join in on Mondays from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. for Breaking the Silence with Dr. Patricia Fry. There are no limitations or boundaries. We talk about life, and guess what? That includes you. So download the app today, New Orleans Talk Network, and subscribe on YouTube. That's every Monday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. New Orleans Talk Network, Breaking the Silence with Dr. Patricia Fry.
There's soul food, and then there's food for the soul. At a time where we live to eat, the Praline Connection restaurant serves up recipes that reach back into days long gone. You know, the kind of meals your mama cooked up for Sunday dinner. Fried chicken with macaroni and cheese and candied yams, homemade meatloaf with garlic mashed potatoes and string beans, or Nolan's filet gumbo. That's the real soul you get only at the Praline Connection restaurant, located at the corner of Charters and Frenchman Street in the Marinade.
Now, Now New Orleans has a choice. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app for your mobile device or listen at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com.
Yeah, that was a short break. That's what we're talking about, producer. We can get back to the topic.
In and out, baby. Get it quick, baby.
Well, listen, for everyone who's tuning in for the first time, this is FanView, Real Fans Talk Sports. Again, don't forget to check out NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. And we got a variety of different shows. Again, New Orleans Talk Network is your number one source for alternative news down here in New Orleans. And if you want to join this conversation tonight, don't forget our number, 504-341-8255, and to join the number to join the conversation. Call in. We got a lot of people on Facebook Live, but we appreciate you give us a call. 504-341-8255.
Or you can text.
You text too. Text too. Feel free to get involved in this conversation. We really, really appreciate it. It's a lot of going on. Chris Paul. Chris Paul, yesterday, breaking news, was traded to Houston. From my understanding, rumor had it was that he opted out. Blake opted out. He was becoming an unrestricted free agent. And I think he went to the ownership and told them that he was signing with Houston. That's what the word I got. Mm-hmm. And they decided to make a deal to trade Patrick Beverley. They also traded Lou Williams. Sam Decker.
First round pick.
And a bunch of other non-guaranteed contracts that we're starting to see throughout the days. Getting traded to the Clippers and getting traded to Houston. Great deal for Houston or not?
I'm gonna say no. I don't like the trade. This is the reason why. It's not because I love Chris Paul. I love the type of player he is. Love the man that he is off the court. But this is me mindset wise. Now I understand why you would make a move like that, but I'm watching James Harden come off of his
best career
year, and that was because you moved him to a point, and now you bringing in an established point guard, and you putting him back at 2. That was one situation. That was one thing I had about it. But I had to think. I had to sit back and think because I didn't want to overreact. And I realized, well, when the Spurs when the Suns were the Suns, D'Antoni had 2 ball dominant guards, Nash, Barbosa, Nash, Goran Dragic, Eric Bledsoe, but I still don't, because I just don't like it because Patrick Beverley is even though Chris Paul's coming in, who's better than him. Patrick Beverley did something for that team that you just can't replace. It was like he was their energy. He was like, I don't want to say heart and soul, but he was like their emotional leader. Sam Decker was a nice piece coming off the bench. Lou Williams, he made your bench that much deadlier with Eric Gordon coming off the bench. But then I had never seen James Harden play with another ball-dominant player. Even when he was with OKC, Russell Westbrook wasn't the Russell Westbrook that he is today. He might still have
he came off the bench too, so he
ain't had to worry about playing those two guys.
They minutes together was limited, and then it was like they had Scott Brooks had like certain play calls for him, so it really wasn't like a situation thing. But from start to finish, like you're gonna have a ball-dominant Chris Paul. Chris Paul likes to have the ball. He likes to orchestrate what's going on, and then James Harden, like you seen everything go up. He was a better passer, he was just his offensive game, and he was more deadlier because he was such a willing passer from the point because he has great basketball IQ that you had to teams just couldn't say, all right, surround him and not let everybody else. With him at the point, it was like offense start and end with him, but he's getting it out. So you really forcing everybody to play 1-on-1. So now, I just I have to. It's one of those I have to see it to say, all right, maybe I was wrong. But like for like as the scheme of things, me personally, now for the Clippers, it was a good thing for the Clippers. You know, you're not at least getting something back from them. You know, you might not have gotten a lot of great value, but you got an extra draft pick, and you starting your rebuilding process faster. So you didn't let him just walk away
for nothing.
without for nothing. So
I'll read a couple of comments and I will get your point, G. Akeem Kimber, PJ Brown said horrible trade. Akeem Kimber says they needed somebody to close games when the lights are on, and that's all the trade was about. Got a good point there. You know, you say, and PJ Brown said, what position PG3 gone plays hard and runs point. If the Rockets change that crazy CP3, a great player, but he doesn't play off the ball that great. Shaking my head, Rockets tripping. Basketball wise, with the Houston's offense, that trade doesn't work for me. Let me tell you something. I love this trade. I think stars. We watching the NBA where stars play with stars. At the end of the day, the caliber player that Chris Paul is. Listen, James Harden played shooting guard his entire NBA career, besides last year. And I'm happy because it's this particular point guard. D'Antoni always had a guy like when he elevated his offense, it was a guy like Steve Nash. Now, granted, I know, Harden went to the point last year and he ran that offense a certain way. But Chris Paul is something very similar to what Steve Nash was when D'Antoni ran that offense in Phoenix. He goes back to the shooting guard. Stars need to play together now to compete and be able to win for something. Reality is this. Houston, all they had was Harden. They had a bunch of other surrounding pieces. At the end of the day, you saw it in the San Antonio series. Last game of the season, he had 11 points. Why? Because nobody else could do anything else for him to get open in space to do nothing. You have Chris Paul now.
But he also didn't shoot the ball, Fred. I mean, let's call it spade a spade. Jay Harden didn't shoot the ball the last game of the season. I mean,
he only shot 11 shots. But
he only shot one goddamn shot in the first half.
So
one shot.
But you're talking about a guy who has to go out there and exert himself all game, all season, all out. You put another star next to this man that's going to be able to get him ball in spots and this is a guy who's a floor general. It's the right point guard. It's not just any point guard. It's not Kyle Lowry. It's not whatever it's the right player. And a guy who really wants to win. Now, the question has always been with Chris Paul, it's going to be health-wise. I always seen come postseason, his body.
He don't play in the second round.
He hasn't. He hasn't been healthy. But I love this deal for Houston. Because now I'm looking at Houston, I'm saying to myself, you still got Ryan Anderson, who's a great three-point threat.
He's not going to be that long.
He may not.
Not going to be that long.
But you got Eric Gordon, sixth man of the year.
He might not be that long either.
You can't
I think you got to keep all of them. You can't get rid of all of them.
Man, look.
I'm thinking to myself, this is a good situation. I'm saying to myself, Harden, Paul, if you can still build a bench, and you can acquire, like I've always been. I've said this on the show last week. I'm saying it again. Small forward in the NBA is the most important position to me in all the sports. Without a small, not all sports in the NBA. I mean, sorry, not all sports in the NBA.
More than a point guard position?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, indeed.
Small forward position is more important.
No, indeed. You got to run the.
It's more important.
You played basketball, Fred.
Yeah,
how dare you say that?
In the
point
NBA,
guard is the most important. He sets up whether he's elite or not. Whether he's like an elite player. Look,
the most
Mario
elite
Chalmers,
position in the NBA right now is the small forward position.
Mario Chalmers wasn't an elite point guard, but for that system, it fit perfect for him.
When you look at something about winning a title, you better have a small forward, and he better be dominant.
Man, not necessarily. Not necessarily, bro.
What you mean?
When the Pistons won in 2014, Sean Prince was a small forward.
He wasn't dominant.
He wasn't dominant. He played good defense. He hit a couple shots here and there. When the Spurs won it before Kawhi got there, they small forward was Sean Elliott.
I'm talking about like in past 7 years.
Okay,
past 7 years.
The Mavericks didn't have a dominant small forward.
Keep going.
Before when the Warriors won it, the first time.
They only won it one time. But
the first time they won it, Players and Balls, they small forward.
Right.
Was it dominant?
Okay, so let's go by the Spurs. Let's go look at the MVPs of the NBA Finals. What position they play? Small forward. LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant.
I'm listening. I'm not disrespecting this.
Andre Iguodala.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You The point guard position is the most important position on the floor, hands down. That's like saying in football, the running back is the position more important than the quarterback position. No, and when you take your point guard away from a team,
it changes the dynamic.
It just changes so much.
Look at the Bulls. Look at the Bulls. Look at the Bulls. The same. They had the same.
That's a good example.
They had Rondo out there. They're a whole different team. You take Rondo away. He wasn't scoring no points on the day. They just took Rondo away. The same starting four.
Mm-hmm.
They get their ass whooped.
Whooped.
Bulls junk.
Exactly.
They was up 2-0
with Rondo. You take Rondo away.
As soon as they took Rondo out, they lost 4-2.
Okay, and what happened to the Bulls next round?
No,
what happened to the Celtics eventually? What happened to when they played Cleveland? No small forward.
That's Cleveland.
Yeah. With a small forward.
They could have had. I don't know. They could have had a small forward.
Okay.
It still wouldn't gonna matter.
Okay.
They wasn't gonna beat them people.
Who did the Bucks play the first round?
The Raptors.
The Bucks had a better small forward. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
They lost, didn't they?
Yeah, they lost.
So that notion
they're not gonna lose. They're not gonna lose much more.
That just killed. But they lost. They lost.
They may have lost.
They lost.
I don't even know who the Raptors small forward is.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
The Greek Freak.
DeMar Campbell.
Raptors.
DeMar Campbell.
Carroll. Did they win?
Yes.
They won a round.
Yeah.
You know why? They had a better point guard.
Malcolm Brogdon, Kyle Lowry.
Who you want?
Okay. If I'm trying to win a title, I'm starting my franchise from that position.
Okay.
Point guard is second. I would agree with that. But I was starting it from the small
if you're
forward
talking about
position.
somebody like Kevin Durant or LeBron,
that's upper epsilon.
Yeah, that's like stating the obvious. But
no, Kawhi.
That's
Paul
upper
George.
The
Greek Freak.
You naming the top small forwards.
You gotta have one.
No, you don't.
You don't have to have one to win.
The Jazz had a damn good season. Who they small forward?
Gordon Hayward.
Gordon Hayward really plays the 2 for them.
Who plays the 3?
That's what we trying to get you to figure out.
No, he plays the 3 for them.
No, he really plays the 2 for them. Watch them.
When the Lakers won all them championships, you know who the small forward was? Rick Fox.
We ain't talking about 2002, baby.
Just saying.
All right, when D-Wade got his first ring, who was they small forward?
Okay, you talking about 2003.
No, I know. What 2003? That was 2005.
Yeah.
I'm talking about from the past 7 years. Past 7 years of the NBA. If you're trying to win now, you're trying to win in today's NBA.
We just named one. Harrison Barnes when they won the first championship.
One.
Out
of the past 7.
The Mavericks won.
2 out of the past 7. The other 5, small forward made all the difference.
But hold on,
all the difference.
Look at out of the last 5, 3 of the same team play. Three of the match was the same.
Okay.
One constant. LeBron was in all of them.
Thank you.
That's one constant. So you got the top
Kevin
player,
Durant
the
in
top,
2 of
the top. No, the Kevin Durant was in one of them.
No, he's the one with the Thunder.
The first one, yeah.
Okay,
But they lost.
Two of them. Okay, Kawhi Leonard.
Was it 2 of them?
That's the top 3 small forwards in the NBA.
You better get one, and you better get one quick.
Man, everybody can't have a top small forward.
Who we talking about trading for in his offseason? Paul George.
PJ say the perfect. Fred, I understand where you're coming from with the dominant small forward. It's the future of the game.
Yes, it is.
But the future, you don't live for the future, you live for now.
Okay.
Point guard are very free. And PJ is somebody who played basketball his whole life.
Right.
Had a scholarship from Mississippi State when Mississippi State was Mississippi State.
Right. And then, let me ask you a question. Now that we're looking at Houston, right? We're saying Houston, they got the point guard right now, which I think is an excellent trade. We're talking about they still are missing a piece. What piece we think what position that they missing at?
It don't matter who.
What position you think they missing it at? The 3.
Not necessarily, cause
look, you know why that's easy to say? Because you have a 1, you have a 2. It's easy to say that if you got a 1 and a 2. Let's say they bring in somebody
Blake Griffin.
Yeah,
I still think they're missing 3.
I mean, if you say if they sign Andre Iguodala,
they got a 3.
He not gonna be one of the best small forwards in the league.
No, you need to get one of those elite.
Man, if they got listen, this will be their start. Let's just say hypothetically,
right?
Clint Capella will be their center, who is a solid center. Blake Griffin, Andre Iguodala, James Harden, and Chris Paul. You telling me that ain't a lineup that could compete to come out the West? Now, I'm not saying they'll beat the Warriors, but They'll give them a damn run for their money.
If they make it, that they could win a game or two. Yeah. If they make it, then they could win a game.
Hold on.
But San Antonio,
you said a big name though. Iggy is somebody important.
Thank you
to the Warriors.
That's true. Another small forward.
Iggy man.
Another 3.
But Iggy really, he's a small forward now. But look what he got. What was Paul George when he came in the league?
A 3.
No, he wasn't.
He played the 2.
He played some 2, but
no, ain't no some.
He played the 2, and Granger was the 3.
Granger was the 3 up until Granger left. That was they played 3 years together. They played 3 years together.
They had to get him on the court somewhere. But his body was gonna make him a 3 eventually at some point.
Not really.
But because of the talent that he was, out of come out of Fresno, and he was developing, you had to get that play like that on the court.
What Iggy was coming out?
Between the 2 and the 3.
No, it was no between nothing. He was a 2. It was him and AI.
Yeah.
1 and 2.
AI was gonna shoot the ball.
1 and 2. So you don't get hung up on position because like true enough, LeBron on paper is a small forward, but he really not a small forward. He everything for them. He everything for him. So you can't just say, all right, he a small forward because it's more than that.
And this what you gotta realize, man. Usually the small forward is the most well-rounded player on the team.
Exactly.
That's they're usually the most well-rounded player on the team. So
Do you see that?
What?
Do you see that comment?
Say Millsap.
Did you see that comment? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You drinking bleach?
Hey, he a small forward too. Yo, boy.
Not small forward.
Millsap's a small forward, bro.
Play a forward. He's undersized forward.
But this the bottom line with the whole Chris Paul tree. And I'm gonna tell y'all this, and people gotta understand this, bro. First of all, James Harden recruited Chris Paul to come there.
True.
This ain't something like that Daryl Morey called Chris Paul and got. James Harden made this happen.
That's correct.
That's number 1. Number 2, Chris Paul is the most well-respected point guard in the NBA. It ain't even close. He's well-liked. He's the president of the Players Association. I know people might feel like, what does that have to do with anything? But that means
a lot.
That means a lot to these players. That means he's well-respected. He's a leader. He knows how to conduct
himself,
a team. He knows how to orchestrate things. He's just a phenomenal point guard as far as like running the show and pitting people where they're supposed to go. Number 3, James, like Big Hen said, James Harden played shooting guard for the how long you been in the league? 6 years? 7 years?
Yeah, just he going into his 7th.
He going to his 7 years. So 6 years out of his career, he played shooting guard. So I don't think it's going to be that hard for him to go back to playing shooting guard. And you got to remember, since James Harden been with the Rockets, he's been the only playmaker they've had. Mm-hmm. He's been the only one that been a creator that can make plays off the dribble, score, and make plays for his teammates. Now you bring a person like Chris Paul there. Now at the end of the games, because if you remember the San Antonio Spurs series, when the game was on the line to end, man, the Spurs wasn't stupid. They like this. Harden about to get the ball. And he about to go one-on-one. Mm-hmm. So now at the end of the games, it's like this now. Okay, Chris Paul, you get the ball. You make something happen. Now James Harden gonna just float around. And I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. If this was a Kyle Lowry or Jeff Teague or somebody come in a situation, it wouldn't work because James Harden ain't gonna respect them guys.
That's it.
He gonna respect Chris Paul. And if Chris Paul say, look, James, let me handle this thing at the end of games and get you open shots and we gonna do it like that. James Harden, that's what he gonna do.
Yep.
And there's a reason why he didn't go to the Spurs and he went to the Spurs. I mean,
the Rockets.
He go to the Spurs and came to the Rockets. He said it. He said, I love the Spurs, I love the organization. He said that their style of play didn't fit what I do well. What D'Antoni do with his point guards, that fits my style. I think I can lead the league in assists playing for this team. And I think that James Harden's going to be an MVP candidate even more playing with a point guard like me. That's what Chris Paul came out and said. And if you add somebody, I'm just being optimistic. If they can add Paul George or Gordon Hayward to this mix, you better watch out. Does that mean by having Chris Paul and James Harden now as one of the best backcourts in the NBA, does that make them a team that could challenge the Warriors? Hell no. Hell no. And I'm a Rockets fan. If we don't get Paul George, we can't compete with them people. We have to get Paul George. If we get Gordon Hayward, maybe
You need
still.
You need a player that could compete with Slim. Slim being Kevin Durant.
Right,
you need somebody
right.
who can offset
Right.
that tempo,
Right.
that pace. That's
Right.
somebody who can score.
Right.
Now, as much as you dislike this, I dislike this too. But if a buyout happens in New York,
I don't want Melo.
I know you don't want
I
Melo.
don't want him. I don't want him. I don't want him nowhere near the organization in Houston. He's a cancer. He's a ball stopper. He doesn't play winning basketball. I don't like it. I don't give a damn if him and Chris Paul are best friends. He
But I
does
believe
not
it's a fit.
It's not a fit. First of all, him and D'Antoni couldn't stand each other in New York.
That's what people
So why the
forget.
hell would they even think about bringing him back there?
Not for the players.
And I know what they're gonna try to say. Oh, Carmelo's growing up and it's a different time. I don't want to hear all that, man. Listen, let Melo stay where he at. If you can't get going here with a Paul George, the next person on the list needs to get is Paul Millsap. Now,
Millsap say he's talking to Houston.
Right?
And
Does
Houston
that
and Phoenix?
Does
yeah, man.
does Paul Millsap
Does Paul Millsap have you on the paper?
does Paul Millsap put them up there to compete with Golden State?
Hell no.
It don't. It just don't. I mean, but it's a start. It's a start. So, and you only play the hand you dealt. Hopefully, Chris Paul and James Harden are on the phone on 3-way or FaceTiming Paul George and telling him, man, come to Houston, dog. We could do something special here.
What the problem is, he needs to be traded to Houston. I don't think Houston has any more assets to really trade.
If I'm
to acquire
Houston,
that player.
if I'm Houston, I'm giving them Ryan Anderson. I'm giving them Eric Gordon, and I'm giving them 2019 first round pick.
But look, like I said earlier,
Straight up.
Like right now, I'm
You
still
got
on
some
the
fans
fence.
who agree with you.
Right now, I'm still on the fence that
Think it's a bad fit.
it's a bad trade. But like I said, I would have to see it play out. And look, I'm a man by mind. Like if I'm wrong, like I have no problem saying, you know what, I was wrong. But at first, I just don't, because it's hard. Like I know those type of player Chris Paul is, and those type of player that James Harden. Like I said, I've never seen him play with another ball dominant person. I never see, because like I said, early in the career, he came off the bench. And he ran the second unit himself. And then when he first got to Houston, like G just said, it was nobody else there.
Nobody else there.
It was nobody else there. So I've never seen him with another ball dominant person. Now I think if Melo could work, I'm about to tell you how, because I remember when Melo was with the Nuggets and he had Sam Cassell.
No, Sam Cassell.
Not Sam Cassell.
Chauncey Billups.
Chauncey Billups. That's what they both bald headed, light skinned.
Yeah.
I
said where you going? Tomato.
But when he had Chauncey, and at the time Chauncey was the Chris Paul of the league. He might not have been like that dog, but far as respect wise,
he was that dude.
He was Chris Paul of the league, and Melo didn't bother Chauncey.
Right.
He didn't bother Chauncey. So he let Chauncey do his thing, boom, 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 set up, and he had a great season. He had a great 2 seasons with Chauncey. Now I've seen him play with that type of player,
right,
and be successful. So that's why I don't see that being a problem by Chris Paul being that. But I'm worried about Harden, because I've never seen Harden play. Because especially
that's a good point.
You're comfortable. You get comfortable in what you do good at, and you're used to having the ball. So if
he's had the ball there 4 years now.
Let's say he's even though when we all knew soon the ball came half court when he first got there, the ball got to him. Let's say his shot just not falling, but he's a shooter. So, he just used, maybe he all right, maybe I just need to, set myself up, do all that with a Chris Paul. The offense is going to run through him now, so you're not going to be able to, one-on-one it. Because sometimes that's what he used to do to get himself going. When it just wasn't falling, he'll one-on-one it, oh, there go Harden. Now he cooking, and you take that away from him. Like I said, I just have to see it play out.
But people keep saying that they don't think it could work. But dude, you got to realize, James Harden had to play like that for the Rockets to win.
Right.
They didn't have any other ball playmakers, people that could take you off the dribble. They had a bunch of kids, people that could spot up and shoot, or slashers. Not nobody that could just give you that sauce like Harden. Now you bring Chris Paul to the fold. You got to realize, man, James Harden, for him to tell Chris Paul, look, I need you in Houston, man, they going to figure this out. This is 2 superstars. They're going to figure this out. And I think James Harden would defer to Chris Paul and let Chris Paul do his thing and let him orchestrate this thing. And it's gonna work wonders for what James Harden won't do far as getting to the cup, getting open shots on the 3-point line like he like to get. And at the end of the games, like I said, now teams are not gonna just be able to just look. We know what they about to do. James Harden getting the ball, he about to get his boogie on, go one-on-one. No, Chris Paul gonna get that thing. Wow. And now Chris Paul gonna be able to orchestrate this thing. And if y'all won't chirp and try to overload y'all defense toward James Harden, Chris Paul gonna get it going and hit you with the mid-range.
And this is why I was talking about what like BigHenry said. When it comes down to when you look at Melo now. Because there's only really two.
You keep talking about Melo.
I'm talking about Melo for a reason.
Melo.
Because if he gets bought out of New York, and because he played with a respectable player like
he need to go to Cleveland.
But
He need to go to Cleveland.
But it's one thing. It's one thing. It's one thing that you're missing out of that whole situation. Melo might want to back out, but the Knicks don't want to buy him out. The Knicks on
and they standing by that.
The Knicks are stuck on we gonna trade him or he gonna stay.
Melo better worry about Lala. She just came out the other day and said she not divorcing him. Okay, he need to focus on that. He don't need to focus coming to Houston and messing what we got up. Okay, what we got going in Houston right now, V Live about to get back popping. Okay, V Live about to get back popping, about to get back jumping. They about to get these 10s and these 9s coming back in V Live. As soon as they get it. It's in the reconstruction right now. Chris Paul coming into town. Chris Paul talking about taking part ownership of V Live.
Oh, yeah,
Look. And once Paul George, we get Paul George there.
Won't happen.
It's gonna be on and popping. It's gonna be on and popping in Houston. I'm telling y'all, dreams. Houston gonna be lit.
Dreams.
Ian Clark said, my man Ian Clark said, look, it's a long time ago. Melo was actually a good player. Played defense, got a lot of offensive rebounds, scored in other ways besides isolation basketball, which I gotta agree with that. You know, I think D'Antoni would stagger their minutes a lot of times. Melo gonna retire with the Knicks. PJ Brown says,
but
Melo don't care about like I ain't gonna say he don't want to win, but he worried about money.
He worried about his business. He worried about his money and his business.
He love New York.
But this is the thing: if you get bought out, you still get your money. You know, so
right.
It eventually.
I don't think there's a tradable situation. I don't think there's a tradable situation for Melo's situation. There's two teams that you're probably looking at from a basketball standpoint that he probably would be willing to play on roster-wise. Because Chris is in Houston, he's saying, I will play with Houston. Obviously,
they're best friends.
They're best friends. Obviously, and Melo and LeBron being up there in Cleveland. So, but those teams, I don't think have the resources or assets-wise to really make a deal work.
Well, they're not going to take. Nobody's going to take that salary hit for 2 years. I'm not about to rent you for 2 years.
So the option is get bought out and saying, okay, where do I fit and where do I go? And the only reason I'm saying Houston is for Melo only because when you talking about from a scoring step, because he plays the wing. Mm-hmm. You're saying to yourself, okay, now you can go up here. It won't stop what Golden State is going to do. But from a scoring standpoint, if Melo gets his head together and listen to what's going on, you say, okay, you have somebody on the wing who can actually score with KD. And you say, okay, you may still be a piece or two missing away, but you can compete. Because right now, all you have is a point guard and a shooting guard. You don't have an answer for Slim. You need somebody who can offset scoring-wise at that position. I'm not saying Melo can do it, but what I am saying is that it fits the situation. If he wants to play winning basketball.
Put it away. It makes, like, what having a Melo out there honestly does, and I see the point you get. It's not so much an answer for Slim. What it does, it takes him out defense-wise.
Correct.
Because, like, now your small forward can't play help D for Harden.
Correct.
Now, what it does, the one thing I do like about this trade is come the time that they play the Warriors, Steph got to put on some big boy pants. Because he going to have to guard.
Got to guard.
Clay can't guard Chris Paul and Harden. So he going to have to guard. So he big boy pants got to come up. Now, before we about to change it up a little bit. Before we get to that, we gotta let G talk about his experience in Colorado.
Oh,
the kid that's going to Kentucky, as my boy B Park would say, the boy got bunnies.
Yeah.
Bunnies.
Kick it, jump.
So tell us about that, G. Tell us about that, baby.
Man, yeah, I was in Colorado Springs last week, man, for a whole week for the USA basketball training camp. It was phenomenal, man. Got to see firsthand how Calipari like to run his practices. Just got to see how his mind worked, to see how he talked to his players, how he interact with his players. Danny Manning was one of the assistant coaches. Got to really talk to him and pick his brain a little bit. I talked a lot about 10 to 12 NBA GMs, about 20 plus NBA scouts that was on hand watching these kids every day out there, just picking their brains to see what they looking for, how they evaluate them, what player comparisons do y'all give these kids and things like that. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. And I ain't just saying this because he's from Louisiana. Every NBA scout and GM that I talked to said Mitchell Robinson from Chalmette High School down here in Louisiana will be a top 5 pick. Every one of them. And my whole thing was I was asking
why he didn't make it to the final.
Well,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. I apologize.
You know, it's been some mixed reports coming out. You know, Mitch came out and said, you know, he had bronchitis and he got bit by a spider. And that's why, you know, he ended up leaving Colorado and not playing for the USA team. But it was other people coming out. I mean, I ain't going to say no names, but that was in the USA camp that said Calipari had an issue with Mitch's assertiveness during practice, his attention span, just his overall demeanor out there. And that's why they ended up letting him go. Now, you know, we'll never know exactly what happened. I watched Mitch the whole time out there. I thought he could have been a little more assertive and a little more active during practice and things like that. But still in all, that just go to show you Calipari is just no nonsense. He like this. If he feels like that you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, he like this. Next man up. And because they only kept 2 bigs. They kept Brandon McCoy, the kid, I think he's from San Diego, California. He's going to UNLV, and they kept Austin Wiley, who was already a freshman at Auburn University this year. So then they kept 2 bigs. They even cut Manu Bowles' son, Bo. And the reason why they cut him, I don't know if you read my article, but they're only able to keep one kid that lives out, that's born outside of the United States.
Right.
So they kept Hamidou Diallo, the kid from Kentucky, which Calipari is not going to cut his guy for Bobo, even though he's recruiting Bobo. Some people say that might hurt his chances of getting Bobo in his 2018 class.
Right.
But it was a phenomenal training camp. My favorite guy there was Cameron Reddish, the 6'7" small forward. I think he's from up north somewhere.
Yeah, wasn't the first, not Chicago, but
I forgot where he's from, but he's from up north somewhere. Him and Lewis King, who also was there playing the same AAU team. This kid is phenomenal. All the NBA GMs and scouts was drooling over this kid, and I gotta tell you, he has a whole other year in high school. And Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky, all these schools are in his mix. And
So he's a junior.
Yeah, he's gonna be a senior
coming up.
And I'm telling you, all the NBA's GMs is like, this kid gonna be lottery pick. This kid gonna be this. He won it done for sure. So Cameron Reddish was a big time out there. But like I say, Hamidou Diallo from Kentucky, who was a freshman this year, he even ended the draft just to go through the process. He is another kid that a lot of GMs was intrigued about. One of the knocks they said about it, they said he just got, if he can improve his shooting, he he athletic as hell. They say he got a 48-inch vertical.
Who jumps that high?
I don't know if y'all saw the picture I posted with his head
Above the rim.
The kid,
Above the rim.
Dude, I see it was some things I couldn't even record. Dude, he was doing some just crazy stuff out there, dog. Like he big time.
Good Lord.
He big time. He a big time athletic kid.
I remember him when he signed to Kentucky and they did the national signing day. You know how ESPN does, and they started showing his highlights and stuff. I was like, good God, they got him. And then when they played last year, I'm like, where he at? Where he at? I was looking for. So I thought he transferred or something. And then until I seen the article. That you had put up.
And don't be surprised they got some rumblings going around. I was talking to some different GMs and NBA scouts out there. They're saying that Calipari is intrigued to take over the Phil Jackson spot in New York. Not coaching. He wants to be in the front office. He wants that front office position. They saying he's intrigued by that, and it's a possibility if the Knicks offered him the right amount of money, he would take that job. So be on the lookout for that, for Calipari to possibly be in the mix for that New York president job.
I've been telling people the longest, I don't think coaching-wise in the NBA, his system will work in the NBA. But I think he would be a hell of a GM. I've been telling people that for the longest. Nah, man, he a coach. Once you a coach, you always a coach. I said, I understand that.
Because he's a great scout.
The way this kid, you know, he's always in every lottery pick since he was at Memphis.
Right.
That came through the NBA draft. Whether they played for him or not, he knew about him and he was in that circuit. He was like, it could have went this way or that way. Yeah, he chose Duke, but you know Memphis was one of them. Yeah, he chose North Carolina, but Kentucky was a final. You know, he knows what he's looking for, and
and I'll tell you,
scout, and that's what you need from a GM. If you're a GM, you're looking for guys who can scout, and this is what I like about Danny Ainge.
And he won't fall asleep.
That too. You know, that's what I like about Danny Ainge. When you talk about scouting talent and scouting getting assets, a guy like Danny Ainge is one of the best. Scott Preston. You know what I'm saying? Preston.
Right.
You know, very great at it. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I think Calipari would be a great, as long as he don't want to focus on actually coaching the team and getting involved.
I don't think he's interested in it. And you gotta remember, by him having so many lottery picks over these last 10 years, he has a great relationship with the owners and the GMs around the NBA. So
Already.
if he jumps into this president spot with the New York Knicks, this ain't gonna be nothing new. Like he's talking to some of these owners in these gyms, like we trying to build a relationship.
He already has
a relationship. He has a relationship with agents.
Yeah,
think about how many different agents
that's what I was about
he's
to
already
get at.
communicating with
he's
them.
communicating when he's dealing with, and don't think for one moment some of these agents ain't putting money in Calipari's pocket, because he's shoving some of these kids. Look, go mess with this agent. Go mess with that agent.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a great situation for Calipari to get that New York Knicks job, and
he's a New Yorker.
And he's a New Yorker. So it's gonna be interesting to see if he gets that job. I know that,
or he just be leveraging himself with Kentucky.
Right.
Which a coach like that does.
It's only so much money you can get out of a college program. That regardless of who you are, there's only so much money you can get out of a college program. That's just what it is.
And I tell you what, just watching him during the week, Calipari is very passionate about coaching, bro. Like, I thought he was one of those coaches that just a great communicator and a great relationship person. I didn't think he was big time on X's and O's and really teaching the game. Calipari is a big time. He loves it. You could see it in his body language, his demeanor. He really is passionate about teaching kids and showing them how to be a pro and how to play the game the right way. And I was very, very impressed with him throughout the week, man. Very impressed with him. He still ain't better than Rick Pitino, but you get where I'm going.
I'm a dog, okay. But like for those of y'all, you know, who want to get the full gist of what G went through, you can check his article out on GSports.com. Sports with a Z.
Got the video. I got the video from the whole week gonna be posted tomorrow. Be on the lookout for it. I got the inside look with Calipari, Danny Manning, some of the players. It's gonna be a phenomenal episode, man. Yeah, so y'all check it out when I post it tomorrow.
That is. Well, listen, we gotta get ready to take our next break. Stay tuned. This is FanView, Real Fans Talk Sports.
And we talking football when we come back, goddamn.
We're gonna get some football in here.
10-9-8.
You know, we're gonna take this last, 30 minutes of the show. We're gonna talk a little top 10. You know, what some of these players will rank. You know, how do we feel about the countdown? You know, there's the last top 10. We're gonna start talking a little football, a little Saints in there. Also, there's some article coming out about their coaching staff.
No, not the coach staff. They training staff.
They training staff.
The article saying that they the worst training staff in the world.
But listen, y'all stay tuned. 504-341-8255 the number. Also, don't forget to stay tuned to our Facebook Live right now. We're coming back with more heat, more thunder after this break.
No rush.
Turn down for what? Yeah. Turn down for what? Yeah. Turn down for what?
Are you a member of Bedside Baptist? Well, now you can join Bethesda House of Prayer every Sunday for our live broadcast. It starts at approximately 9:45 every Sunday morning. Just go to NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com and click play. We can't wait for you to join us from your home. And don't forget, if you want to join us live and in person, service starts for 9 a.m. and we are located at 7601 West Lake Expressway, Marrero, Louisiana, 70072, Suite C.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center. the only place on a golf course that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
Join in on Mondays from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. for Breaking the Silence with Dr. Patricia Fry. There are no limitations or boundaries. We talk about life, and guess what? That includes you. So download the app today, New Orleans Talk Network, and subscribe on YouTube. That's every Monday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. New Orleans Talk Network, Breaking the Silence with Dr. Patricia Fry.
What is New Orleans Talk Network? It's today's hottest topics with an added flair. You get ready because the conversation will be hot and better yet, mobile. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app available on Android, iPhone, iPad, and you can listen to us on the web at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com. Write down our talk line at 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255. Interactive and worldwide. That's what we are. Join in on the real conversation and tell a friend about the New Orleans Talk Network.
They gotta do something. They gotta be good at something.
Gotta be good at something. Welcome back, everyone. This is FanView, Real Fast Talk Sports, New Orleans Talk Network. Again, don't forget to follow New Orleans Talk Network on their website, www.neworleanstalknetwork.com. Again, New Orleans Talk Network is your #1 source here for alternative news. There are a bunch of variety of different shows here with New Orleans Talk Network. This is the sports show here, but there's a bunch of different varieties throughout the day. Follow us, and also follow them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can follow us on so many different social media networks. We deeply appreciate everybody who's following. Football time. We got 10 weeks away from the NFL season.
Yes, sir.
We got 9 weeks away
from college
football.
Yes, sir.
8 weeks away.
High school.
Yes,
sir. 10-9-8, baby. I'm on it.
We ready, baby. We're around the corner. But the NFL has started the past 3-4 years now, doing the NFL Top 100.
I'm confused on how they
actually.
Yeah, I mean, everybody vote like what? Man, that must take some time.
Yeah, I guess why.
So they just like he got 50, so we gonna put him at.
I think it might.
It might a number system. Like
it might rank out. Like maybe we could get a NFL player on. I know we've been working on trying to get somebody on like who's voted for some.
You think they can't ask every NFL player? They must ask.
I think it's
starters or select
or Pro Bowlers.
Well, I don't know
because guys.
Because from what I've seen, like even on the interview, like sometimes they have like a punter, a long snapper, or somebody that's like a backup. Just like when they explain. Like somebody who played against them and all that stuff. I really don't know. Like maybe it's somebody like if they know their agents real good.
I don't know all into depth of how they get these rankings, but Brady was ranked #1. Von Miller came in at #2. Julio came in 3rd. Antonio Brown came in 4th. Khalil Mack 5th. Aaron Rodgers 6th. Zeke 7th. Odell came in 8th. Le'Veon came in 9th. And Matt Ryan, the MVP of the league, came in 10th. For the last 10 of the league. I think that's probably fairly accurate. Regardless of not the exact picks, but those top 10 guys of last year.
If you go by, so just going by last year?
Going by last year, because it's for that year. It's for that year.
Man, Zeke not top 10.
Zeke not top 10 last year?
Nah, Zeke not to me.
No, hell no.
Not to me.
No.
So you could probably take him out and put David Johnson in.
Man, you talking about the top 10 players
of last year?
Of all last year? No.
So Zeke don't be part of your list?
No.
I actually thought Landon Collins should have been in the top 10.
Yes.
The type of year he had.
I think he should have been defensive player.
Janarius Jenkins should have been at least top 15. The type of for what he done.
Like
last year.
For what
I'm gonna tell you what was a joke
Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott at 14?
Are you
It's a
serious?
joke.
Come on, man. Y'all, I mean, dude.
He,
Really?
he didn't throw that many passes.
I just don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
Dak
at
Prescott, which I don't want to take any away from his rookie year, but Dak Prescott's not in the top 10 quarterback last year.
No.
Let alone.
He might be in the top 10. He might be. But for him to be 14 overall to all the players
over Drew Brees, over Big Ben,
man, y'all gotta stop. Come on, man. He went into one of the best situations ever with the best offensive line, with a great running game.
And you got lucky.
You know what I'm saying? Like you went into Dak didn't do nothing that wowed me last year. He didn't make mistakes.
He happened to play on quote unquote the America's team,
right?
You know, and he always had a primetime game. So that's what it is.
I thought Amari Cooper got messed over. They had Amari Cooper at like 52.
I tell you, if I tell you somebody I would switch out in the top 10, Tyreek Hill would probably be top 10 for what he did.
No.
Man,
if you gonna put Tyreek Hill, Amari Cooper better be top 5 then.
No. Look at what he did. Look at what. I'm talking about. Look,
top 10.
Y'all missing what I'm saying.
About what he did for the Chiefs.
If you gonna put Zeke there for having the best offensive line and doing it, look at what Tyreek Hill did. He returning punts, kickoffs for touchdown.
Yeah, but Tyreek wasn't a better player than Zeke last year.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, he was, Fred. Yeah, he was.
Neither one of them should be in the top 10.
He impacted the game on 3 aspects of the game. Zeke was only out there for just offense, for just running the ball downhill behind the greatest offensive line in the league.
I don't think neither one of them should be in the top 10.
I don't want to understand. I don't want to undermine what Ezekiel Elliott did last year. The guy had 1,300 yards. I think he led the league with touchdowns. I mean, not overall touchdowns. I mean, David Johnson led the league in scrimmage.
Hell yeah, but he shouldn't be 7.
Yeah,
that's what I said. That's why I said if you want to put David Johnson ahead of him,
they put him over Le'Veon Bell.
That's a mistake. That's a mistake.
That's ridiculous.
That's a mistake. That's a mistake.
That's ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying?
No.
That's why I said if you want to say David Johnson too, I understand it because he led the league at total yards of scrimmage and total touchdowns.
Man, the top 100 should be changed to prisoner of the moment.
Yeah.
Shit.
Prisoner of the moment 100.
I thought Aaron Donald should have been in the top 10.
Man, he needs to be.
He should have been in the top 10.
He needs.
No D lineman.
Hold on.
D lineman.
No
safety.
Joey Bosa. What Joey Bosa did last year.
He was 100.
I'm saying, but how? You know what I'm saying? The boy didn't play like the first 4 or 5 games of the season. Still almost led the league in sacks. Good God, what else you got to do to get some respect? You put him at 100?
Me personally,
it's bad.
I think the only person I ain't agree with
Clowney.
Yeah. Well, what you think Clowney should have been though? I mean, he should have been higher.
Yeah, higher.
Yeah. Xavier Rhodes. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
I'm going out on a limb right now.
No, you better not say it. No, you better not say best overall.
Xavier Rhodes and Marcus Peters. Those two, they're gonna be the two best. They're gonna be arguably the best 2 corners next year. Watch.
Yeah,
Xavier Rhodes played phenomenal last year.
I thought you were about to say
I
thought you were about to say.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I thought you were about to say he about to be he'll be the best cornerback.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you, I'm like
Peters though.
If I had to pick out of him Marcus Peters, I'm taking Xavier Rhodes.
I'm taking Peters, baby.
I'm taking Xavier Rhodes. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Xavier Rhodes, big time. Did you watch him last year?
Oh no, trust me. I've been watching.
He guarded everyone.
I've been watching.
And he coming up and tackle you.
Yeah.
He got good size. I like Xavier Rhodes. I think Xavier Rhodes gonna be the best corner in the league this year. If not him, Marcus Peters.
Peters, man, Peters.
You know, why I don't understand how Patrick Peterson keep getting his love.
Me neither. You took the rest of my mouth and said, how does Patrick Peterson keep getting up here in the top 20?
Patrick Peterson is one of the most overrated players I've seen in a long time to come through the NFL.
Thank you.
Real talk. I've watched.
Thank you.
Listen. I'm a student of the game. I watch Patrick Peterson. He is an elite talent, but his technique, his IQ for the game, it ain't that good to me. It ain't that high to me. I'm so serious, dog. If you watch Patrick Peterson is not going like his technique. Like if I had to rate his technique 1 to 10, with 10 being the worst, I rate his technique like an 8. That's how bad it is to me. I don't think he's a kid that watch film. I just think he going off straight ability.
The ability. Like
he's so talented that he don't have to have the technique that some of these corners have. He don't have to watch film like some of these corners have to do because he's so elite of a talent that he can get away with it. But nah, if he put that work in and was to be able to get his technique down pat and really, really, really be a student of the game, yeah, I think he could be a top 5 overall player in this league. But I watch Patrick Peterson, dog, and Patrick Peterson is not who they say he is. And I'm sticking to that.
Thank you.
I'm sticking to that.
Thank you.
I don't see how y'all say that. But
I'm sticking to
I've
it.
been saying that for a
I
while.
don't see how you say it, but I'm not. That's a whole nother segment.
I'm just saying.
But he,
Watch him. Watch him.
I watch him. I watch him.
Watch him.
I watch him.
I'm telling you,
I
Patrick
watch
Peterson
him.
is
I
not who
watch
they think
him.
he is.
He
He gets roasted.
don't-
He gets roasted. He plays 6-7 yards off the ball. He keep his eyes in the backfield. I'm telling you. You remember what happened last year in the playoffs?
Yeah.
When Giannis gave him that pistol in the end zone. That was his fault. He was getting dicked all during that game. Patrick Peterson was not an elite corner last year. He was a good corner. He was not elite.
he's an elite talent. And
He's an elite talent. It's a difference.
He's an elite talent.
It's a difference. It's a difference. Like I said, Xavier Rhodes, Marcus Peters, I think they should have been way higher than what they were in the top 100. Should have been way higher than what they were. Myra Cooper was at 53. Are you serious? Come on, man. 53? Myra Cooper cut up last year.
Hey, Amari Cooper should have been higher. I don't think Dak Prescott should have been nowhere near the top 50. If you're going to put him in anyway.
I'll put him in the top 50. I'll put him in the top 50. Yeah, he'd be in the top 50. But
he didn't do nothing.
I would
He
have put him in
did
the top.
Come on now. That's gonna be too disrespectful. All right. So look, let's so you telling me he couldn't be Marcus Mariota was 50. He didn't have a better year than Dak Prescott. So
Marcus Mariota already too high on that list.
No.
I don't.
For what, man?
I mean,
that team, he ain't had no weapons.
Cam Newton 44. Like Cam Newton have a better year than Dak Prescott. Cam Newton was number 1 last year.
Right, because he won the MVP.
I'm just saying. They got Tyreek Hill at 36.
Aaron Donald. My thing, when I looked at that list, I said, you got 2 linebackers in there. Obviously being Khalil Mack. You got.
But Khalil Mack is really
Von Miller.
He an end, man. Let my dog give my dog his what he
No, Khalil Mack.
Well, you can say the same thing about Von Miller.
No, Von Miller a linebacker.
They both put their hand in the dirt.
Khalil Mack hand in the
both
dirt.
deserve.
Yeah, but Khalil.
I just thought Aaron Donald could have been in that. There was no
Khalil
D-lineman.
Mack
I thought Aaron
hand in the
Donald could've
dirt
been in
like 95% of the time, man. They gonna put my dog at linebacker, man. But boy, what he is, man, in baby. Fuck, give our D lineman some credit.
Not seeing Dak Prescott over Ben Roethlisberger, I was like, okay, I didn't feel like watching the rest of the program. It was just that just.
First of all, he was over Drew.
That's another one. He was over Drew.
You over somebody that led the league in passing and touchdowns.
I was just like,
I thought Julio should have been number 1. That's my personal opinion. Julio should have been number 1. I think Tom Brady. I mean, I'm not saying that's absurd to have him number 1, but the way Julio
and he missed 4 games.
The way Julio attacked these corners, these past year, this secondary, this past year, the way he just
that boy grew up,
played out his goddamn mind.
That boy grew
damn
up.
near every week.
That boy grew up.
I think Julio was the most. I can't say he's more impactful than a quarterback, but
no, but outside of that position, Julio Jones dominated last year.
Like he
Hands
dominated,
down.
dog.
Hands
I mean,
down.
they were trying to bracket cover this dude, and it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
This
It
dude,
didn't matter.
He ate everybody's lunch who he went against. Ask Sherman how it feels.
Matt Ryan and number 10. I mean, nah.
That's because he won the MVP.
He's the MVP of the league, and he had a good statistical year, thanks to Julio. But he had a good statistical year. You can't.
That two-headed monster in the backfield they had, man, shit.
I mean, Freeman could have. I forgot what Freeman fell down on that list.
Man, they had Dak Prescott over Jameis, man.
Man, they got Justin Houston at 76.
How? That's illegal. That's illegal, man.
Come on,
man. You know what it is, man? This is offensive bias. Shit.
Ben Stone said Julio Jones impacts every play. You got to agree.
Xavier Rhodes at 66. What the hell he was watching last year?
I'm telling you, man. This list
is Brian at 60.
This list is offense bias.
Well, Dez didn't have a good year last year. Dez kind of falls where he needs to fall.
But check this out.
Dez fall where he needed to fall.
There's no
Man, they double teams if Dez every damn play.
Because there's nobody else to draw it to.
Well,
right.
Well, check this out, man.
So is this going off numbers?
I think, man.
Like, what is this going off of? I need to know.
We don't know their system. We don't.
I need to know the system.
I don't know.
I need to email the league.
I don't. But see, this is not the league. This is NFL Network thing.
We need the NFL. We need to email NFL Network.
Yeah.
I need some kind of
criteria.
I need to know what's the
prereqs. That's usually our education, fella. What rubric is they using? What rubric is they using? You see that Jefferson Parish? Well, Miss G will be proud of me, boy. I pulled that one way out the box.
I don't think Dez should. I think he fell where he fell at.
Aaron Donald is the best D tackle in the game.
Yeah.
The most impactful D tackle in the game. How you number one at your position, but not top 10 in the league?
Here's the problem with the top 10. You had 3 quarterbacks in there.
Yeah.
You had 3 running backs in there. You had what?
You had 2.
You had 2 running backs.
Le'Veon Bell.
3 running backs, 2 linebackers.
Now, Vaughn got his spot, rightfully so. Khalil Mack got his spot, rightfully so. Those 2, yeah. Landon Collins needs to be in there. I tell you somebody who needs to be in there.
Landon Collins defensive player of the league regardless to who won.
I tell you another safety that's supposed to be over there. If you don't think that boy Earl Thomas is good, if you don't think he that good, that defense was shits without him last year. Soon as he got hurt, that defense looked like they didn't know what to do. If not top 10, he top in that top. If he's not top 10, he's number 11. That's how important he was, and that's how good. Eric Barrett should have been higher than what he was supposed to be. The boy played out of his mind. He probably was the second best overall safety last year, but next to Landon Collins. And it probably, depending on what system you want to run, is 1A, 1B, whatever floats your boat. That's how good both of them played last year, and they not in the top 10. Sue had a resurgence. He played out his mind last year. Marcellus Darius, Gerald McCoy, who was, oh my God, Cameron Jordan is underrated. And I'm not just saying that because he plays for the Saints, but the dude, he gets doubled. He get doubled and
I think he was like 9-8 last year.
Yeah, he gets doubled and triple teamed every play, and he still makes an impact on the game. He just plays on a sorry defense. But God, man, Zeke is overreacting. That being that high, Dak being that, like, I'm not saying he shouldn't have made the list. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he shouldn't have made it. That's overreaction. Saying like, bam, he was the 14th best player in the league.
That's
in the
ridiculous,
man. What about the offensive line? Look, you should have put his offensive linemen with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There you go.
He wasn't more impactful for them.
And I hate this because these damn Cowboy fans gonna throw this in my face.
Man,
we had Dak Prescott for Dak Prescott, the 14th best player in the league. Man, stop.
Man,
are y'all drinking bleach?
They got this,
or Drano? Which one?
They got the same brand that Fred be drinking. What is it, Clorox?
I don't know what the hell, dog.
I'm not on that. I'm not on that.
You was when you said damn Paul Millsap. You need to go to the goddamn Cavs and they gonna be able to beat the damn Warrior. What you thinking about? Are you back to your senses? What's going on? Are you back to your senses, baby?
Did it wear off? Did you go to rehab?
The bleach is gone.
All right. So now you back to normal.
He go to Houston, baby.
Nah. About these reports about the Saints training staff. I
didn't hear about this.
Mike D, who's
I can tell you,
who's the Saints beat writer, and he was at the Madden Passing Academy this week, but then it was like when he was there, like there was some rumblings about the report that came out, and so of course he did his investigating. And then he came on. He does the Matt Moscona show. He does an hour on the Matt Moscona show
on Thursday.
Every Thursday, and he said this is from former players, and from the report came from former players and like the rest of the other 30, 31 teams in the league that says that the Saints have the worst training program it is. And I thought about it, so you know what, they right, because I never heard of a Spurs hernia. Like the Saints was the first person to announce somebody got a sports hernia. Then it's like you got 10 of them on the team at one time.
Right.
And you look at Max Unger. What's that left tackle? They can't stay healthy.
Teron
Armstead. You got 2. I'm not counting Nick Fairley in this because that's something that nobody could make happen. But you got 2 people who's hurt for a good period of time, and you're not even putting pads on yet.
Right.
So that's not coaches. That's not where's the prevention at? Where's the recovery at? Where's what the training staff sets all that up. So you gotta be as much as we've been on injury reserve or people that we lead the league.
I think we lead
every
the league
time
in reserve for the past 3 seasons.
Or PUP list.
And there's an issue. I mean, I haven't seen so many ACL injuries on any NFL team besides the Saints in my life.
Well, no, I feel bad because I remember that year AP got hurt, and then from the Vikings it was ACL. That's something that's a non-preventive injury because we can get up out the chair and just our foot turn the wrong way, you tear your ACL. So
when I'm looking at the Saints roster, man, you're looking at every game, and again, injuries are part of the game. I'm not blaming the coaching staff or the training staff, for example, but getting guys back healthy to play football. I mean, Dalvin Breaux got hurt last year. When he finally comes back, I mean, in and out of games,
Keenan said that the Saints training staff is shit water. He was like adamant about that. So I mean,
what's his name? Junior Gillette. Junior Gillette said he had an injury with the Saints. They diagnosed it as turf toe.
Mm-hmm.
He was out 4 games. He had the same exact injury, but on the opposite foot with the Redskins. They had him playing back that week. They said it wasn't a turf toe. It was a strain. It was a grade 2 strain. They wrapped it up. They kept him off of it. Had him in ice, and put stem. Had him rehab in a certain type of way, and he was able to play that week, the same week that he got it. So that's a big. You tell one doctor telling you got a turf toe was puts you out for at least 2 or 3 weeks. And somebody say like it's just a strain. Well, just how you fix it, and you playing.
Right.
That's a huge difference. That's a huge difference. So and this was a troubled guy, and he's telling you this. Keenan Lewis, he wasn't a troubled person. He came from a world class organization. He came from the from the Steelers, a world class organization. Come to us, and now he's having these injury problems. It's now Quentin Q says it's the heat, but. Not for Keenan. He from here, so the heat ain't the problem.
But for the past few years, these guys haven't even been training in Louisiana during training camp or mini camps. They've been training in other places.
But my thing is,
West Virginia the past few years.
It's not like they play outside. They play in the dome. Not 80% of the league is in the dome. But the thing is, when you have a training staff, the main thing for a trainer is preventing injuries, the injuries that can be prevented.
Right.
And recovery, and we are failing at both.
Bad.
We not even stepping up to the table at both. If you rank us, we number 32. So if you can't keep your players out,
always staying hurt.
But look, but the crazy thing is, if he goes somewhere else. Prime example. Ben Grubbs. Ben Grubbs stayed hurt with the Saints. Stayed hurt. He went to Kansas City. The boy played every game. Why? What's the one thing different? Him and Andy Reid and Sean Payton, the same type of coaches. The difference is they got a way better training staff.
I wonder what Mickey Loomis and Sean Payton are planning on doing of getting this resolved, because we can't keep having these issues going forward. Teron Armstead off 4 to 6 months. That's a big deal.
That's look, and you just gave him money.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
That's a big investment. That's money just sitting on the bench.
That's a big deal, man.
Max Unger.
And
you don't even know when he's coming back.
You got the nerve to do that and draft these kids with these injury problems, like the kid from Florida, Unzik.
Yeah. Forget that. You got
Marcus Lattimore. Hamstring issues. Hamstring.
Just think about it in the past.
The right tackle had a hip issue.
Yeah,
hip surgery right after the draft.
You draft years. You ain't got Ronald Powell, knee problem.
Florida, yo.
You draft Hello Kiatu, knee problem.
ACL injury.
David Tall.
I was about to say David Tall from Tennessee Chattanooga. He had injury problem.
You know what I'm saying? And these the problem is you don't know how. Like they might have been good players, but if you can't get them on the field, what good are you? What good are you? I mean,
they got to take care of this issue. They got to take care.
No, I take the Nick Fairley situation.
That had nothing to do with football.
That's nothing. I mean, that's outside of what you can do. You're not a cardiologist.
You can't
that's outside of that. But that's the first good thing that you did. So, the past couple of years, you couldn't get Drew Brees back.
What is Kihaha ready? Is he actually ready to go through?
They say what they always say. Oh, he's ahead of schedule.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking better than that. And they come out and tell you, look, it's a shame.
Where's Damian Swan at? Is he healthy?
It's a shame.
PJ
Williams.
It's a shame when you the professional team in the league, in the state, and 2 colleges have a better training staff than you. And that's LSU and Tulane.
Right.
Prime example, Danny Etling had back surgery 2 months ago. The boy drawing at the Peyton Manning camp. Back surgery to drawing 2 months later. These guys can't get somebody off of a sports hernia. And somebody please tell me what's a sports hernia. There's only one type of hernia, a hernia. Well, because you play sports and now you put a sports hernia? What is that? God.
So I'm saying, did Sean Payton them come out and address this issue yet?
No. But see, this is one of those things that now if you don't address it, I see it hard for you to sign free agents in the future because the report is out there. It's out there. Everybody knows about it. Everybody's talking about it now. And so if you don't address it, that's telling me you don't care about your players.
Well, not just that. It also goes about into how much are you working your veterans, how much you working certain guys and going to certain things because you may be working guys certain ways, and when these injuries are happening, the training staff cannot get these guys prepared to get ready to play football. I mean, we're going through. I can't name the amount of corners they've been through. I can't name the amount of linebackers they've been through. I mean, I remember back in the day when Chris Ivory. When he was getting injured, when he was the same. I mean,
and look, he
couldn't get back on the field. Kyrie Robinson couldn't get back on the field.
Chris Ivory turn around and go to the Jets, play every game.
You're like, what the hell happened here?
Jacksonville must have a horrible one too, because he can't stay healthy in Jacksonville. Maybe it's the South. Maybe he just don't do good in the South. But no. It's just Scott Fajita on the tail end of the career when he started getting hurt. It was like, oh man, he next thing you know, he goes to the Browns and he rolling.
I never knew about this report. This is my first time hearing about
it. It reported today.
I'm sorry. It broke during
it's like around
Matt Moscona must have found out about it before Mike Detillier came on because his show run from 3 to 5, and so he must have found out about it right before it came on, and then Mike D comes on from 4 to 5. So it was like he asked him about it during that, and then it had to get out because the fans was the ones that was asking the question first.
Well, I would say this: you start to notice a difference because I think the few years Sean was here when this team was making a postseason run and making made that Super Bowl run, run. You didn't see the amount of injuries that this roster had. Mm-mm. For the past 3 or 4 years, man, you see injuries. You see guys can't get back on the field. You see guys can't get back healthy. It's consistent. It's consistent each and every single season. And it's funny how it's certain positions too. Like at corner, you always see that corner. You always see some at D-line or linebacker. You see it on the opposite line. You see it at the same position at the left tackle position. At previously, you saw that at the running back position.
Right.
Because you never really see that receiver. You never really see so much at tight end. It's key positions that, again, I don't know what's making out, what's the connection there. But it's the same overall position that you could look to say, you know what, there's an injury that's going to happen there. It's going to be a bunch
Sean Payton, he got a clean house.
Yeah, that's what he's going to do.
He's got a clean house.
Get you a new agency in there.
This report out there like that, and people know about it, You got a clean
Clean
house.
house.
And you know what?
Everybody got to get their goddamn walking pieces. Everybody.
And I will say this, it might be because coaches and GMs like they got a lot of other stuff on their plate, so it might be like it might be something. It's easy to overlook. Like we look at it as something big because it is something big, but like during the day-to-day operations, they probably looking at it like, all right, he got hurt. Like how long? Okay, so do we have to get somebody else? Would he be ready? Because they got they might not be looking at it like, you know what? Maybe it's the training staff. They probably hadn't. Their eye was probably close to it. Now that's out there. It's like, you know what? Now, I bet you they gonna do some research now,
right?
And see like, well, you know what? He right.
You got camp in the next few weeks, so you got to figure something out. Figure out how you gonna work certain veterans, work certain rookies, because the key to camp is
staying healthy.
We understand we all digging into the practices as fans, but reality is you're trying to come out of camp in preseason as healthy as possible. I read a comment when a guy said, Richard Corleone, who has a big following on New Orleans Saints Nation, said, he tore his ACL.
It ain't. So let me tell you,
ain't no fun.
I told my ACL, MCL, and PCL. When I tell you it ain't fun. It ain't fun.
Jason Terry said, move the camp back to Jackson. No.
Move it to Nichols.
Yeah.
Move it to Thibodeau, baby. Get easy coverage.
Try Paris.
Move it to Southeastern.
It wasn't Southeastern for like 1 year, huh? Was it?
No,
that was a Peyton Manning camp.
Peyton Manning camp.
They always went to Millsaps. Move it to Southeastern. That way I could just drive around the corner and be like, yeah, I'm here, baby. Live and direct.
Man, they're going to keep that. Yeah, I think it should stay right there on Airline Highway, baby.
No.
What's wrong with Airline?
No, nobody does training camp at their own facility.
They do. They have.
They was going what it was up north in West Virginia.
Yeah,
which I didn't. They used to go to Wisconsin.
Yeah,
I never understood why they was going that goddamn far away.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do?
They held it on Airline Highway a couple of years back.
Yeah, that was
the last show on Airline Highway.
The new NFL, everybody, they do a cycle. They'll do like 1 or 2, and all this money trying to build up fan interest in this area.
Now I think that could probably be a good spot.
Man, that's too far for me.
I'm just saying, you want to go somewhere where
go to Shreveport, go casino, just give your players on their off day something to do, something.
Yeah, I won't stick them in the wilderness where nowhere to go.
Right.
They still men. They got to do something.
Yeah, man, that's when you got to call that old lady.
Yeah, if you got one,
come see me.
Or go to Backpage.
Come see. Come see me.
We're gonna leave that one alone.
They trying to look for that $40 special.
They go to Passion, man.
You get what you pay for too. Get what you pay for.
Oh, man.
Oh Lord, baby, what you doing, baby? $40 special. Gotta leave that one alone. I don't want no part of that. But listen, man, we gotta get to wrap this show. I got a few comments. Q Young said, listen, they need organization in the locker room. They have no leadership or respect for the coaching staff. The atmosphere is the reason why they need to move to Covington.
Covington,
Q.
Man, I would say Mandeville before Covington. Mandeville got some money down there, baby.
But still,
nice facilities.
That's too close. That's too fast to get back to New Orleans. You can make it across the Twin Span and back.
Twin Span scary.
Yeah, but they'll get it.
Scary, no?
Gotta stop, Q. Covington.
Oh man,
Just go ahead and just keep on going to Bogalusa, baby. Just stop right there in Franklin. No,
take them to Folsom. Get it.
That's damn near Covington. I would say that's Covington.
Yeah, but to put them on a global wildlife, make them practice with these damn giraffes, damn wildebeests.
So before we go, guys, before camp starts, what position the Saints need to be looking at?
D tackle. That's no question.
And DN.
Front seven.
Front seven.
Front seven.
I think they need to. I
think our secondary is solid.
Yeah,
I love our secondary.
If all the pieces come back, if PJ Williams come back, Delvin, bro, you got
You're solid.
Yeah,
you're solid there.
You got Marcus Williams. You got
Kenny
McCarroll, Raphael Bush.
If David Swan is hell, what you signing?
Ken Crawley.
What you signing?
I like Ken Crawley.
What you signing? Bush back.
I'm gonna start with Ken Crawley.
Ken Crawley.
Man, he got drawn the fire last year, bro. He did real good.
Got thrown. Dog, Ken Crawley had a solid year last year. Like real talk. I mean, I hate that number he wearing 46, It's bad, but Ken Crawley had a solid year. I see a lot of potential in Ken Crawley. I expect big things from him this year. Real talk. Like at that nickel or dime situation.
I expect a lot of special teams. And if he can prevent the field, I appreciate it.
Nah.
If he can prevent the field, I appreciate it.
I mean, we know he ain't gonna play over. We know he ain't gonna play over PJ Williams, Delvin Breaux, and Marshall Lattimore. But I'm saying though, that when we come with them 4 DBs on the field, he can get on there and get some burn.
I still would like to see if we can add a veteran wideout.
Well, that's gonna happen.
Like an Anquan Bolden.
That's gonna
somebody
happen.
who ain't got to go through all the camps. Somebody who knows football. I ain't talking about somebody got to bring in and go through all this training camp regimen. Somebody who come in and actually play football. And it's just due to the listen.
Eric Decker.
Well, he signed with the Titans.
Sure did.
I think a guy like Anquan, because we scouted him last year. He didn't sign before he signed with Detroit.
He gonna sign this year. He just waiting. So
yeah, I think he just waiting to fill teams out. I don't think he won't go through camp.
No, I'm saying he gonna sign with the Saints. He ain't.
You think so?
Yeah, he gonna sign with the Saints.
I would love it.
The report been out there. Like
I love it.
Like he just sit there, just wait. He not gonna go to camp. He did too many camps.
He don't need to. That's a guy who knows the game. That's not a guy that's come out here and say, "Let's get in shape." No, that's a guy who. It is what it is.
And he had a real good year with the Lions last year. He had a real good year.
No.
Solid.
Before we wrap it up, we was talking before the show. There's one thing we want to try, want to do, and as y'all know, the name of the show is FanView. So it's fans about y'all. So what we're inviting y'all to do for the people, for our fans out there, if you go on the FanView Live page and you stroll down a little bit, you'll see the About section, and it'll say send a message. That message will come straight to the panel. And if you're interested, tell us that you want to come on the show. We'll do a segment about whatever you want to. We'll do a 15-minute segment about whatever you want to talk about. We'll do our research, and say you'll get to come on, be on the show with us. You know what I'm saying? We'd like to throw that opportunity out there to y'all. So for I don't care if you're from Washington Parish or from all the way to Plaque. You know what I'm saying? Look, it shows about y'all, it's for y'all. So go to the FanView Live page. Because we know y'all didn't already liked it and followed it. Mm-hmm. Stroll down to the About section, send a message, say, hey, my name's such and such. I'm interested in being on the show, with you guys. I want to talk about this. Then we'll reach back out to you, give you the date to come into the studio. You know what I'm saying? We'll share it to your page, and then, we already got. So I'm guessing Jason Terry gonna be the first one.
He been waiting.
But look, this show is about y'all, and the only way we can grow is if y'all grow with
fan
us.
Participation.
So
it's about.
So we about to grow together. So we'll let you come on. We'll let you tell us about yourself, and then then we'll get into the sports, baby, because that's what we're here for.
There it is.
There it is. Like I said, go to the FanView Live page. Go to About. Send a message. There's a particular topic you're going to talk about. We'll give you a time. We'll give you 15 minutes. We'll come in here and we'll talk. We're going to talk it through. We're going to get it in.
And you better be ready, because we're going to bring the heat with you. Or if you don't, if you get confused on trying to navigate the page, you can reach one of us.
If we're friends on Facebook, then shoot us a message.
You can hit us up on Twitter. We all on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, we there. You can hit our the producer up, Bank Boy Recite. If you want to do this, we giving you the outlet. We giving you your 15 minutes of fame, baby.
They send a message on in, and we get it popping. That's what it is. What else you got? Got to get ready to end the show. Any closing arguments, guys?
Before next time we'll come on the 4th of July weekend when it happens. So for those with kids, man, just be safe and no fireworks. The same old cliches, but no fireworks in the hand and all that stuff. Just be safe. Everybody have fun. Please don't shoot no guns in the air, because what goes up must come down. People, bullets kill. That's what they made for.
I say this is S's weekend. Enjoy yourself. Yeah. If you haven't got out this year already, get out, go have some fun. A lot of events started tonight. You got pretty much a 3-day week. You may not have a weekend, but if you haven't done none this year, go ahead and enjoy yourself. Go have some fun. Period, point blank.
I'm excited about this weekend, man. I got some family coming in town from out of town.
Uh-oh.
Gotta show them a good time. Gotta show them a good time around the city. So I can't wait for that.
So around home, or we going to home with, baby?
Oh no, we're gonna be in New Orleans, baby.
Oh, we going to New Orleans. Oh,
We're
okay.
gonna be in the city. We're gonna be in the city, baby. We're gonna be in the city, baby. But I'm excited about what my Houston Rockets doing. Hopefully, I see Paul George, a notification of Paul George coming to the Rockets sooner than later. Hopefully,
I'm gonna blow your phone up there.
Look. I don't never root against the home team. I hope the Pels can make a splash and be able to keep Drew Holiday. They can't keep Drew Holiday. Get somebody else that could really help that team, because I do not want to see Anthony Davis ended up leaving and Boogie ended up leaving when they contract up. So that's why I'm at with it right now.
I'm gonna blow your phone. That happened. Boy, I see Paul George to Houston. Boy, I'm gonna blow your phone.
I'm gonna be talking some shit.
Well,
I'm gonna talk some cash money shit.
Well, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. So,
I'm telling you right there, boy. That happened, boy. I'm gonna blow you up.
Won't happen.
Blow you up.
Won't happen.
All right.
Hey, Daryl Morey. Hey, I told y'all, Daryl Morey always make a splash. He one of the best GMs in the league.
That's cool, but he didn't make this splash. James Harden made that splash right there.
He gonna get the credit for it.
Come on, dog. You don't think Daryl Morey had nothing to do with this? He had to make them trades and make it fit.
Hold on. If he reached out to Chris Paul right there, that's tampering.
Man, everybody doing that, man. Everybody doing that, man. Come on, man.
I'm saying, but you can't give him that credit. You say James Harden called him. That's it. Point blank, period.
On three-way with Daryl Morey.
No, James Harden. That was straight. They didn't.
James Harden called him here like this. Hold on.
No. What they? They ain't happen like that.
Heard you want to sign in Houston.
No. They didn't have you. What James Harden from? Where he from?
California.
Oh, okay, so he just flew home. He was already home because they was out. They've been out the playoffs, so he was just sitting there. They were just going to Dave and Buster's together. Hey, Chris, I see you go to Dave and Buster's very much. You know,
got your family.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Let's talk. You ever seen this spot? You know,
we will make a splash in the next few days,
like Louisville, baby.
That's why we're gonna win the ACC this year. And you gonna see.
Our producer hey, big homie here.
Y'all don't stand a chance against Louisville this year, boy. We got a squad coming back.
It's your boy Fred.
GSports, man. You know what it is.
You gonna doubt this Louisville.
I think Jesus drinking that homo bleach. They look not homo. I say it like they said, that homo bleach.